For my personal home workout program using my resistance bands, I've decided to remove the pull downs and cable crunch. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know I have 7 basic movements that I think everyone should do, and they are as follows: a vertical pulling exercise, a horizontal pulling exercise, a vertical pushing exercise, a horizontal pushing exercise, some kind of knee extension, a hip flexion, and a calf raise. The reason I like those 7 is because they will hit the entire body and hit it well. You could do just that as a workout, something with each one of those movement patterns, and really get a good workout in for the average person. If you want to go beyond that, become kind of sculpt out a bit more of your body, you would need some more isolation, but just to be healthy, you could go with just that. However, when it comes to resistance bands, I don't find these particular exercises that effective, and it does have some main reasons. One, you do have to use your door frame, and if you know me, I've really been trying to move away from using the door frames. One of the main reasons is for safety, and also not to break the door frame. I do have equipment I actually really like, such as the cross grips, which are excellent on a doorway. However, they still have the potential to break your frame, and I know some people have caused damage in the past with different products. So I'm always looking for standalone options that I can improve my home gym with. So that's why I'm trying to look at moving away from anchors using your door. Another big issue that I did make a video on is that with the pull down, once you get to a certain band strength, it'll actually lift you off the ground. So if you have no other counteracting force holding you to the ground, it'll actually lift you off the ground as you're trying to pull down. Many gym machines actually have something where your knees are locked in place for this very reason. But for me, at home, just using a door frame, I really don't have a good option outside of just adding more weight onto my body, maybe like my dumbbells in a backpack or something. But I really don't want to do that, so I am looking at a different option when it comes to doing vertical pulling movements. Now, do know I do have the big bar, which is a standalone pull-up bar as well, and I can do pull-downs with this, but again, I'm going to run into that issue where I get pulled off the ground. So even with that as an option, it really isn't going to save me from the problems I've had with resistance bands and vertical pulling movements. So my fallback for this is simply getting rid of the resistance bands and just doing pull-ups instead. Now, I'm lucky enough to have a backpack I can put in weights to continue to enhance pull-ups and a standalone bar like the big bar, but do know that you would need something else in order to do pull-ups. And that may include something on a door frame still, like the cross grips, but if you can, try and go the standalone route. And even if you do have to go back to your door frame, at least you're not getting pulled off the ground, effectively making the exercise impossible to get any results with. So pull-ups are great because it's a tough exercise, but you can scale it with doing things like assisted exercise or even using your bands to help you get up if you can't do any. But because you are able to continue to build off of the pull-up, you can continue to build a bigger and stronger back. So that is why I'm moving more towards the body weight pull-up as an option. And when it comes to the abs and core, I'm really just looking at doing crunch-based movements instead. I'm not sure if I'm going to weight these or not yet. I might just do it as hard as I can and see how it goes. But for me, I'm really just moving away from doing anything that requires a door, especially with resistance bands. But if I have to use something like the cross grips or another option with a door frame, I will do that, as I still think that's a big plus over the resistance bands version. Now, if you enjoy doing the pull downs and they work for you, you haven't reached a band that's lifting you off the floor, go ahead and keep doing it. Do it until you get to a point where you are too strong to continue before you move on to the next option. Again, this really just became an issue for me because once I got to a super strong band, I am getting lifted off the ground and I don't have a way to keep me on the ground, so it's basically just not effective anymore. I'm really just using the same band that I'm still able to sit on the ground with over and over again. So I'd rather continue to build on top of what you already got and do pull-ups. Personally, I am pretty good at pull-ups, so I can do them anyway. I can actually put in about 15, 20 pounds in a backpack and do them still 4 reps. So I still have a long way to go with the pull-ups, but just know I am personally moving away from resistance bands as it's not effective for me. However, it still might be effective for you, so analyze if it's still working in your program, keep it in, but if not, try to move on to something else. Now with that, if you have an exercise or a way to do vertical pulling movements from home that you enjoy, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I'm also going to leave a video here on screen on different ways you can do pull-ups from home with different equipment in case you are interested in moving in that direction.